What's up, fans? Matt Hofeld, CrimsonandCreamMachine.com, here to talk about what did and did not happen last week within the Big 12, as well as talk about what's going to go down this weekend in conference action. What did happen was the West Virginia Mountaineers established themselves as the mother of all offensive juggernauts by scoring 10 touchdowns on the Baylor Bears. This is the second time in less than a year that the West Virginia Mountaineers have been able to do something along these lines, going back to last year's Orange Bowl when Clemson was the victim of 10 touchdowns. What didn't happen, though, was Baylor nor West Virginia identifying themselves as a defensive juggernaut or anything remotely close. How would you like to be in the Baylor locker room following that game? Art Briles comes up to the offense and says, guys, he had a good day. Scored 9 touchdowns on a top 10 team on the road. Unfortunately, the defense gave up 10. Neither team walked away from that game looking like they're going to be anything near stellar defensively, but with West Virginia having the ability to just about outscore any opponent in a track meet / shootout, you still got to label the Mountaineers as the front runner within the conference. What did happen was the Texas Longhorns proved themselves to be 5 points and a questionable call better than the Oklahoma State Cowboys on the road. Listen, it is what it is. I said via Twitter after the game, hey, Oklahoma State, welcome to the 2006 OU debacle at Oregon. But the Cowboys thought it was funny back in 2006. They're not so much thinking it's funny now. However, like that 2006 Oregon game, simple plays can prevent you from being in that situation. You stop the Longhorns on 4th down and long, it never comes to a goal line situation. What didn't happen there as well in that game is that either team established themselves as a defensive juggernaut. Texas came in the Big 12 with one of the highest ranked defenses nationally, getting all the publicity that the Longhorns typically get. However, they were beaten up and down the field by a redshirt freshman quarterback who honestly wasn't good enough to beat out the true freshman quarterback who is currently injured for Oklahoma State. If I'm OSU or if I'm Texas, I'm concerned about what's going on with my defense. But hey, that seems to be the theme this year within the Big 12. Unless you're Texas Tech, who currently has the nation's leading defense. I guess we'll find out about that this weekend when the Sooners travel to Lubbock. We'll get into that here in just a minute. But you got to give Texas Tech credit for who they are right now. #1 in the nation in defense. However, you also look at the schedule, you see teams like Northwestern State, Texas State, Iowa State. Yeah, I like Paul Rhodes, but not much offense there. The Red Raiders will no doubt be put to the test this weekend against Oklahoma's offense, who honestly hasn't set the world on fire yet either. Should make things interesting in Lubbock. Like I said, we'll get to that here in just a minute. The other game involving Big 12 schools this last weekend was TCU playing at SMU. Again, I've tried to, how should I say this? I've tried to carry the banner for the Frogs. I got no dog in this fight. I don't like the color purple very much. But hey, TCU has traditionally been a strong defensive and offensive team. Not so much right now. Now with the recent suspensions that came down even just this week, look for things to get very interesting with the Horned Frogs through the final stretch of this season, starting this Saturday when they host Iowa State. So that puts us into this weekend. Iowa State at TCU. It could be an interesting game if the suspensions hold, in which we believe they will. TCU will be without their starting quarterback. Iowa State, do they even have a quarterback? I mean, I'm serious. There's a lot of things going on there. The Cyclones have to make some adjustments to get some offense going. This may be the game in which it happens. I don't know. Look for this to be a slugfest, low-scoring, kind of a boring game. But I still think TCU comes out on top at the end in a very, very close game. With the disclaimer, I wouldn't be shocked if Iowa State pulls off the road upset. Kansas travels to Manhattan to take on in-state rival Kansas State. Look for the Wildcats to continue to remain undefeated in the Big 12 and undefeated overall and continue their push into the top 10. There's no way this game should even be close with the Wildcats getting a blowout win. Sooners are going to travel to Lubbock, Texas to take on the aforementioned #1 defense in the nation. Oklahoma coming off of a bad loss to Kansas State in their last outing, have a week off to think about it, to stew on it, and so forth. None of that means beans if the Sooners can't come out and be balanced with their offense and be aggressive from the get-go. The Red Raiders have yet to even be challenged defensively, and again, not taken away from where they have been or what they are, just saying that they've not yet been challenged. Can Oklahoma challenge them? The answer is yes. Will Oklahoma challenge them? The answer is we don't know. That brings us to this week's marquee Big 12 matchup, West Virginia at Texas. Sorry, Longhorn fans, with all due respect. No, I take that back. I never respect the Longhorns. How in the world is Texas favored to win this game? Word came out that Malcolm Brown will not play this week. That was a huge loss to the Texas Longhorns because they are going to have to ground and pound to keep this West Virginia offense off the field. Plus, when you look at what happened to Texas in this game against Oklahoma State last weekend, Geno Smith is a lot better than J.W. Walsh. West Virginia is a lot faster than Oklahoma State. This game could get out of control if Texas cannot run the clock and run the football. I don't see the Longhorns win this game, which is kind of sad because it puts both Oklahoma and Texas the next weekend in the Cotton Bowl, both with losses. Make sure you check us out, crimsonandcreammachine.com, as we head into the Big 12 weekend, previewing Oklahoma at Texas Tech. We'll be here every day as well as game day. Come chat it up with us while the Sooners are on the road playing at Texas Tech. We'll have a live game thread going starting around 1:30. See you then. SB Nation's crimsonandcreammachine.com. I'm Matt Hofeld.